Okay, guys, so we're going to finish the dream vacation that we started yesterday. And remember, we were starting to do multi-step problems. That means, sorry, I need to get a drink of water. That means where we're going to be doing two operations. And if you notice the operation, we talked about that word in our daily math. Operation is not like the operation you go get at the hospital, but what we're going to be doing. Are we going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? So we're going to have to be doing two things. It could be multiply and add, multiply and subtract, divide and multiply. It could be two things. So this is why we have to pay attention, read the story problem carefully, and kind of what we call dissect, which means kind of take our word problem apart and really see what it's asking us to do. So the next dream vacation we're going to be going on is the beach. So I'm going to write that here. And so let's read. Beatrice wants to go to the beach. She would like to collect 48 shells like she did last year. She hopes she will find an equal number of cauliflower shells, scallop shells, clam shells, and conch shells. She plans on giving all the scallop shells to her best friend. How many shells will Beatrice be left with? So let's take this apart. So the first thing it talks about is she wants to go to the beach. So there's really no information in that first part that we need. Then it says she would like to collect 48 shells like she did last year. Okay. Then it talks about how she hopes to find an equal number of car shells, scallop shells, palm shells, clam shells, and conch shells. So let's look at that information right there. So we're going to work on this first. So she has 48. That's how many she has. And she hopes, or she would like to collect 48. So she's going to go to the beach and she's going to start picking up 48 shells. She's hoping that she will find an equal number of each of these shells that she listed. So let's count how many shells. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she has 4 types of shells. And she wants to take this 48 and make sure that she gets an equal number of that. So let me go get some base 10 blocks real quick. I forgot it'd be easier to do this with base 10 blocks. So looking at our base 10 blocks, because I don't want to have to physically draw 48 dots. I'm going to put my papers over here. I know I'm going to have 48 shells. How can I show 48 with base 10s? Well, I know that 48 has 4 10s and 8 ones. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're going to say these are our shells. Okay? And she wants to make sure that she has an equal number of shells. Okay? So she has 4 types. So I'm going to draw, here's one group, here's 2 groups, here's another type of shell, and here's another type of shell. Okay? So this is going to be my different shells. She has 4 types. So I'm going to give each group, I'm going to start with my 10s. I'm going to give each group a 10 until I have no more. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the 1s. Give each group a 1 until I have no more. So that means that she's going to get 10, 11, 12. Each group is going to have 11 shells. Okay, so I'm going to draw what I just did right here. I'm going to draw on my paper. Okay, so I'm going to do, move this down here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to draw just like this. I have 1 group of 12, 2 groups of 12, 3 groups of 12, 4 groups of 12. Okay, so basically what I did, guys, is I took 48 and I divided it into 4, which gave me 12. Okay, so my strip diagram would look like this. I know that my total is 48. I know that I have 4 groups. Okay? And each group is going to get 12. But I'm not done yet. Okay? I'm not done. Okay, let's look at our problem. Okay, so I'm gonna put these, I'm gonna kind of erase what I did. Clean it up later. Okay. So I'm not done because it still has more. It says she plans on giving all the scallop shells she has to her best friend. So I know that each of these shells, there's 12 of them. Okay. So she's going to give her scallop shells all to her friend. So she has all 48. Here's her 48. So she's going to give all of her scallop shells to her friend. So what did she do? She just took the 48 that she had, okay? She took 48 and she took away the 12. Subtract 12, which left her with 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, which left her with 36 shells, okay? So that means that I'm going to have my strip diagram for my subtraction problem. 48 is my total because that's how many shells I had. And I took away 12 of the scallop shells, which left me with 36. Okay. And I could have done it up here. I could have just marked one of these out and I would have had 12 plus 12 plus 12 is what we did. Okay. So that means she would have, Beatrice will have 36 shells left. Okay. So it was 2 steps because we had to figure out how many shells were in each group. That's where we did our division. And then after I found out that each group had 12, I know that she was going to give away her scallops. So now I could subtract that number from the total, which gave us 36. Okay. So let's look at another one. Let's look at another country. So that would be another dream vacation if you went to another country. How many of you ever been out of the country? I have not been out of the country. Now, when I mean out of the country, not out of Texas. Well, you leave out of Texas, but you're leaving the whole United States. Okay? So let's look at this one. Selma is planning to visit another country. She figured out she will need to take 3 plane rides. Each plane ride is 3 hours long. Then she will have to get on a 4th plane for 13 hours. How long will Selma need to travel to get to her destination? So let's break it apart. Selma is planning to visit another country. That doesn't have any information we need for our problem. She figured out she will need to take 3 plane rides. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a picture for that. So here's plane number 1, plane number 2, and plane number 3. Okay. Each plane ride is 3 hours long. This one's 3 hours, this one's 3 hours, this one's 3 hours. So that means that I have 3 groups of 3. So I'm going to say 3 times 3 would be 9. So the first 3 plane rides are going to take her 9 hours. Okay. Then she will have to get on a 4th plane for 13 hours. So on top of the 9 hours, she's going to add another 13. So 9 plus 13 equals Okay, so that means I'm just going to do 9 plus 13. Well, 9, see 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 hours. That's how long she's going to be on the plane. So I'm going to do our strip diagrams to match, guys. So for the first multiplication problem, we know that she has 3 plane rides that are 3 hours long, which would take her 9 hours. Then we know that she's going to be on for 9 hours plus the 4th airplane ride, which would make a total of 22. So Selma will travel 22 hours. Okay. We're going to do one more right here. And this dream vacation is going to the arcade. So very simple. You don't really have to go anywhere. So arcade. Okay, so let's read the problem and then we're going to break it apart. Luis wants to go to an arcade. He and his 4 friends are planning on combining the tickets they won the last time they went to the arcade so that they have 100 total tickets, then dividing those up evenly among 5 of them. Luis knows he wants to use 7 of his tickets to buy a rubber snake. How many tickets will Luis have left? Okay, this one's kind of big. So the first thing it says is Luis wants to go to an arcade. Okay, so we don't have any information to use out of that one. Says he and his 4 friends are planning to combine the tickets they won the last time they went to the arcade so that they have 100 total tickets. Okay. So the first thing we need to know, guys, is it's not just 4 friends, it's him and his 4 friends. So he is 1 plus his 4 friends makes that 5 people. So 5 people are going to combine the tickets they won the last time they went to the arcade so that they have 100 total tickets. Then dividing those up evenly among the 5 of them. So that's 5 of them. So, I need to do that. Then dividing those up evenly among the 5 of them. So, what we have is, I know they're going to get 100 tickets. So when they get them all, they're going to get 100 tickets. Then they're going to divide them up evenly among 5 of them. So I'm going to take 100 and we're going to divide those equally into 4 people. Okay, so I'm going to use my base 10s. So I have here's 1 person, person number 2, person number 3, person number 4, and person number 5. Okay, and I have 100. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so 10 10-longs make 100. And I'm going to give each person a 10-long until I have no more hundreds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many tickets would each person get? 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20. So each person would get 20 tickets. Okay. So I'm going to draw my picture. So I'm going to show that I have yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And each person is getting 2. Okay. So that means that I did 100 divided into 5, which gave me 20. Now it says, which means my strip diagram would look like this. So I have 100 tickets. I'm going to divide them into 5, which means each person would get 20. Okay, so now what's going to happen is Luis knows he wants to use 7 of his tickets to buy a rubber snake. How many tickets will Luis have left? So we are just wanting to know about Luis. So we know that all the kids got 20 tickets. So Luis has 20 tickets. Okay, so let's just say that right here, these are Luis's tickets. Right here, that 20. So I'm going to take his 20 tickets. I'm going to make a strip diagram. And I know that he's going to use 7 of his tickets. How much is that going to leave him? If he takes 7 away, because I'm spending them, I don't get to keep them, what would I have left? So 20 minus 7 would be 13. So we would say Luis has 13 tickets left. So guys, the most important thing about when we're doing multi-step problem is you have to take apart the problem. You have to look at it piece by piece to see what are we doing? What are they asking me to do? So don't worry about this last problem. I'm not worried about it. I think we've done enough together. You are going to do the multiplication and division problem solving. Part 2, model 2-step problems with strip diagrams. So you have 1, 2. So you need to read the problem, show me your strip diagrams, your equation, and how you solved it. Guys, the solving strategy is if you need to draw the picture, draw the picture. If you don't need to draw the picture, that's fine. It's just there to help you solve it and draw it out. Make sure that you are taking it apart. If you need to do the color coding that I just did, you can do that to help you. Okay, so you have the front and the back. All right, guys.